nothing can bother me. It's therapeutic for me. It's like I listen to jazz music, listen to relaxing music. It's relaxing, and I'm making sure at the same time that the picture is right. That I'm doing the same. I'm doing the picture right. I had my first seizure in third grade when I was 12 years old, and I went to Jacoby Hospital. They didn't. Well, at first they gave me an EEG. They hooked all the electrodes up to my head. They told me to go to sleep, and they took my brainwave pattern on the EEG machine. They said they didn't find nothing. My brain was okay. I just had the seizure. Then my second seizure, I forgot when my second seizure was, but I know I had one. That's when I got diagnosed. I have to be on Dilantin. It was a medicine for seizures, Dilantin, for a while. You know, and one of the doctors said by 18 I would grow out of it because most people do, but they in in their late adolescent years they grow out of epilepsy. They have it and then they grow out of it. But when I turned 18, I still had it.
When I first got into art, I was about 8 years old. But before that, you know, I was doing arts and crafts and daycare and things like that. But for some reason, it stuck with me. It stuck with me, and the first the art at 8 years old, the first thing I did was comic book art. I did a black comic hero. His name was Cactus Man, and I ain't gonna lie, he looked like a black Homer Simpson. My father said he would write it for me and do a lot of things. He would write it for me. I would draw the pictures.
I think it's genetic, hereditary because my uncle had it before he passed. He had it before he died. My cousin has it randomly. They usually happen randomly. Like I haven't had one in 3 years, but when I had the last one, I had just came from the art store downtown. By I was on 21st Street. I just came from the art store, and when I had teacher, I was at Grand Central Station. When I woke up, I was on a platform. They had told me I fell on the tracks. My whole family, they was concerned and worried about me and stuff like that. I remember the day they took me to the hospital. They took me to Langone downtown, NYU Langone. When I had the seizure, I must have fell face first because when you have a seizure, you black out. You don't know what's going on. Your brain is misfiring the neurons and everything like that. So I fell on the tracks, and then I looked at when they was named when the fireman was in front of me. I looked at my phone because my phone was off. I looked at my phone. I had a different phone at the time, but I looked at my phone, and I was missing these two teeth. The next day, I went to the dentist, and I got the two teeth replaced by crowns. I guess that's what comes with epilepsy. You end up getting injured, or you end up, you know, disfiguring yourself.
Back then, like my father told me, there really wasn't a lot of black comic books being made. So he wanted me to draw a black comic book. In junior high school, I had chose Evander because they had an art program, and before that, I had chose LaGuardia, and because I was into science, I had chosen Bronx High School of Science, but I heard a lot of Japanese kids went there. It was hard to get in, so I went and took the test for LaGuardia, but they never got back to me. So I ended up going to Evander for the art program and things like that.
I was on Dilantin when I first tried Kepra. I remember that I went down to New York Presbyterian a long time ago. This was like when I was in junior high school. I went down to New York Presbyterian. They put me on Kepra, but when I was on the first medicine, Dilantin, they said this should work, and it was telling me this should work. And that's the medicine I've been on for the longest. That's also the medicine I was on where I had the closest seizures together. My closest seizure was 2 weeks apart. Before I get to draw, I have to take out everything. I have to get ready, you know, listen to jazz music. It's hardly, since I started with the portraits and still life, it's hardly that I make up things on my own. I usually go for reference. When I used to do comic book art, I used to make up things on my own and things like that. I used to do what I'm doing now, but with comic books. I used to look in comic books, used to get references from there and stuff like that. And I used to draw superheroes like that. But as time passed, they started saying that was stealing. What if your picture came out good, really good? You really didn't get the picture. Do the picture yourself. You copied it from another person, and you weren't, shouting out that person or nothing like that. You were just saying you did it. My main problem with art has been trying to be like somebody else. I never tried to find my own style until maybe the beginning of this, not the beginning of this year, like last year and stuff. My cousin that passed away in North Carolina, he was in the art. He used to draw real good. This one I was small. But he still drew good. He had that, and his mother did art, and my aunt does art. It's in my family on my father's side, so I guess that trait came into me. I looked at him as an inspiration. He brought it out of me. Even though it was in me, I didn't know it was in me until he brought it out of me. Until I looked at some of his pictures, and I drew something of my own. And I said, well, not I said. Other people told me I got a little talent there. I can draw, and that's when they said your cousin can draw and your aunt used to draw. It's probably in your family and stuff like that. That's how it came up. No, they changed my medicine after that, and they took that medicine off, but I still was on Darlene. Then they changed it to Keppra, Dibuprox too. I forgot Depakote. They changed it to Keppra and Depakote. But when they first changed it to Keppra and Depakote, the dosage was too low. That's when I had the seizure on 42nd Street. But and after that, my neurologist he heightened the dosage, and I haven't had a seizure since. The worst seizure that I had after I finished watching Armageddon, I had a seizure in my room. And back then, a long time ago, I had a stand with a TV. Remember before flat screens, they had those box TVs. Yeah, I had a stand with a TV on it. So I hit the TV stand. The TV fell over my face. And the only thing keeping it in from falling on my face and killing me was the plug. The plug had stayed in, and it kept the TV like that. And the TV didn't fall because the plug was in. My family in North Carolina, and my father and my mother, they keep me from doing the wrong things. They keep me from doing things that bring on a seizure. It's things that I can't do. Not challenging to art, but challenging to life itself. I know some people don't drive, but I always wanted to drive. Before I started having epilepsy, before I was 12 years old, I always had a thing about muscle cars. But even though I have a thing about muscle cars, after I was diagnosed with the epilepsy, I said I wouldn't drive because I don't want to have a seizure behind the wheel. Since I've been drawing,
One thing that's hard is when you look at a blank piece of paper and you don't know what to put up there. And the thing is, it's a difference between having something to draw and thinking of something to draw. And when you have, like, they have writer's block, they also have drawer's block. And when you have drawer's block, you don't have nothing to put on that white piece of paper, but as soon as you put something on that white piece of paper, you're creating. That blank piece of paper, you're creating. But it's different from when you have something to draw already and you just want to copy that down.
I would like to go to school, college for art, for graphic design. You know, where do I see myself? I see myself with the graphic design job later on in life because I want to do something better with my art instead of just drawing pictures and showing it to people.